I definitely think Jenna would like to have been a little more prepared, but the whole goal was to get her out of here. So it's time to go. Let's give this a shot. First day of the rest of our lives. Yeah, looking great, babe. Looking great. Keep an eye out behind us.
She made the other side.
Welcome to Sailing Instead, our story in 2 words. We are Jenna and Charlie, and together we are chasing our wildest dream, inspired by our first date, sailing on a lake in our home province of Alberta. With a new shared interest and wanderlust building, we decided now was the time to pursue an alternative lifestyle. We'd become full-time cruisers, living and traveling on our sailboat.
We found this rundown 30-foot sailboat from 1975, and for almost 2 years we worked tirelessly to make it our new tiny floating home. After 611 days and 2 more Canadian winters, we decided no more waiting. We would start our voyage and continue fixing the boat on the go. Come aboard and share in our adventure as we document everything along the way, the highs, the lows, and everything in between.
Just cruising down the river, trying to take advantage of that extra tidal shift, going somewhere between 5 and 7 knots. We definitely don't have much for horsepower, do we, babe? Now that this rain cloud is over us and cruising over us, we're starting to see the other side of it, which is sun. Nautical miles remaining. Just gonna come around between Keats and Bowen and head up to Port Graves. Babe, what's going on? We're surrounded. We've got an orca or 2 on our port side. We've got another one. There's one in front on our port side, and then there's another one or 2 ahead of us. So we've on day 1 run into our first pod of orcas. Must be feeding in this bay or just at the entrance to Howe Sound, actually. It's our first morning on anchor. We woke up at about 3 o'clock to the inverter beeping because it's on our battery too low. You frozen? You're sleeping?
I didn't get much sleep. Just a little longer.
Now that we're running the motor to charge our battery for our fridge and freezer, we've got the electric coffee maker going. So we know it's unconventional to have AC appliances on a boat, but we're gonna give it a crack, and we're here doing it, so. Did coffee and bagel math and figured that today's breakfast cost us around 23 amps, 13 to make 2 bagels, 10 amps to make 2 coffees.
Too much.
Jean said we look like we're going on safari because of all the grass cans. Our resident seal pup is playing around with us. He's gone to both sides of the boat checking us out and keeps popping his head up and looking right at us and definitely knows we're here. Stealthy little guy, babe. Look at how close he is. Hey! Just incredible. Hey! Hey, buddy! Hey! Hi! Oh, he's over there. Still checking us out, but not too far. We don't have a camera with a lens on it. Sorry. When we get a better camera, we'll get some better wildlife footage, I promise. It's definitely one of my passions. I'm just not set up for it right now. The second seal Water's coming straight at us in the sunshine here. There's another little head, looks like the baby. 3 seals all together right here. Just amazing. See 3 of them up all at once like that. Me without my good camera. What a schlub.
Finally time for this poor schlub to know how it feels to fall in love.
Obviously I'm a schlub. I mounted solar panels with paracord. Obviously it's working. Mounted our wind turbine on a fence post, so obviously that's working too. May not do everything right, but we're out here. The sun is shining. Gonna get a little sunset over the mountains. Maybe we could kiss during it even. We did a reset of our anchor. So we ran the motor for a few minutes, pulled her up, just set a new position so we could set an anchor alarm on our phone and try that. There's one of the seals over there.
They're everywhere.
They really are. We've actually had like 3 or 4 of them just hanging out beside us all day.
Seems like a pretty safe bay for the seals.
They're definitely pretty active in here. The longer you wait, they'll eventually come back. Our entertainment through dinner tonight. No TV, but instead we watch, I guess this light's not helping. Instead we watch Sail Grib Anchor Alarm. It shows our anchor position that we set, and then our boat, and our swing radius, and then it actually shows our path. So it's kind of cool to check in on, and it's overlaid onto Navionics so we can still see where we are on the map in the bay. Waking up on Gambier Island, Port Graves Bay. Quite chilly this morning. It's bright blue skies and sunny outside, but where we are sitting, we're protected by Mount Artaban, so we can see the sun's coming over the mountain hopefully in the next hour. Get some sunshine on this old girl.
Oh, I'm glad my babe's resourceful.
I was never a Boy Scout, but I did eat a brownie once.
Tom, you were a Boy Scout, weren't you?
No, but I ate a brownie once.
5 amps. 4.8 amps, babe. Come on, sunshine. It's gonna be a beautiful solar day out there. So we'll get to play with this a little more, see how many amps we can make in some decent sun. They're not super dirty, but even a little layer of dust and dirt can have a pretty big impact on these cells. Just after I started filming, this guy thought he'd land here and see what's up. What's up? What's up? Probably wants some French fries. Seagull's favorite food, French fries. Another day full of seals. Port Graves Bay, March 4th, my dad's 69th birthday. It's too bad he's not here to do some fishing. We're just starting to spin around here now, you can see. We're gonna rotate around the anchor and we'll be back in the bay facing out. We've just got one snubber on our anchor line. It seems to be working pretty well for this mud bottom bay. It's a pretty shallow slope. We found a shelf that was between 16 and 30 feet and just dropped our anchor here. It's been holding really well. We've reset it once for fun, not because we had any concerns, but for practice. Now I've dropped the freezer cord and it's in behind here, which is always tough to get at, so never a dull moment in boat life. First refueling at anchor. The diesel heater, I just put in a couple liters. Decided to fill our fuel tank as well because I had the fuel out, gloves on, and didn't spill a drop. I built our leak prevention here. I cleaned out our $30 funnel, which we got with the boat. I cleaned it out, and then look at all the gunk that it still got from, I guess, like 18 liters of diesel. I guess that gunk's probably either in this old can. We haven't cracked into our new cans yet. Waking up on our third morning. It's 2.2 degrees outside, and it was 6 degrees in the boat. The water's just absolutely calm, like a lake. Oh babe, dead calm. I know we don't say that on the boat, but it is dead calm out here. We're having a look for a new marina for tonight, so Navionics, and I'm gonna have a rip through the cruising guide here. Anchor alarm we had set died overnight, so we used deductive reasoning. Since we've been getting blown to the north by a southerly wind, we can assume that our anchor is due south, and we knew our scope was about 150 feet, so we set a new anchor using that information, and now we've got our anchor position 140 feet away at 178 degrees, and it looks like we're holding in that track pattern pretty well so far. So we'll monitor this and make sure we stay in and around the circle, which gives us a pretty good idea that that is where our anchor is, and that we're not going to go visiting our neighbors uninvited at 3 a.m. Lunch is on. Time to wind up the Google machine. Back into the bilge. You can see the wires here are pretty dirty and loose, so that's next. Clean them up, reattach them, and give her the next go. See if we can get our charging voltage up. This is a 14 volt 50 amp alternator, so our belt tension wasn't super tight. I've got the jack in here just to, I've loosened our tensioner on our alternator, so I'm just adjusting its tension, and then we'll tighten that up. And when we run it today, we'll see if it's putting out a higher voltage, because that would be a nice touch, wouldn't it? We got all the way around our anchor today. We're on our way out of Port Graves Bay. Jenna's at the helm. Just motoring into Gibson's. We chose a close marina to go spend a night or two, get cleaned up, get reset, and put a little time back into the boat and see what our plan is for the next, who knows. A lot of lessons learned, a lot of things need addressing. It's Gibson straight ahead. So we're just on our final approach. We'll see see how she goes. First time entering a new marina since, well, it's been a couple of years since we got the boat and brought it over to our first marina. Unfamiliar territory, so it should be fun. Well, we made it into Gibson's. We didn't hit anything yet. How is that?
Stressful.
I think we're gonna take a few minutes, go for a walk, stretch our legs back on land after a week, and go visit the office, make sure that we've got our proper power and water assignment, and figure out how long we're gonna be here and what we got for amenities, showers, laundry. So go check out Gibson's Marina. You want to come? We're going for our first coin operated shower, $2 for 3 minutes. So we're gonna go have a timed 15-minute shower and see how it goes. Just had a toonie shower, very small. I hung some clothes up, and the shower door itself knocked my clothes off the hanger when I swung it closed, so very tight quarters. How was your 12-minute shower?
That was not relaxing.
Yeah, pretty stressful. I couldn't even swing the door without knocking all my stuff.
Yeah, my stuff fell a few times.
Well, that was interesting. But look, there's a palm tree. Oh, Gibson's. We got the mountains behind us over yonder. We got the palm tree beside us. Our first marina on a long road towards Greece.
Yeah.
What do you think about Gibson's?
I don't know, we haven't seen enough of it yet.
They got a nice trail. Near this spot on May 24th, 1886, George Gibson and his two sons, George and Ralph, landed from their sloop, the Swamp Angel, thereby founding the settlement of Gibson's Landing. Look what it's grown into today. This bustling little scenic town that attracts tourists from all over the world. Excuse me, miss, where are you from? Dedicated to us?
Yeah.
I think so. Jenna's never really eaten much seafood. Here in Gibson's, we're gonna pick one, make her try it. Look at all the oyster shells. What do you want to pick, babe? Do you want to try fish, crab, prawns, oysters?
Probably none.
How about no?
First morning in Gibson's. Dishes are done. It's time for pancakes and dailies, or watching the last 5 days because we can't really do dailies out at anchor yet. And we're watching pancake art, so I know next time how to make them better.
We are off to do laundry. The famous Welsie.
So I need $5.50 plus $2, $8.50. Look at how many boats they have. Just a collection of fishing boats. Look at the jungle gym behind you.
You trust it? Does
Feels
it look
like
very sturdy?
feels like a ghost town. Lots of ducks around here, right? Lots of
Yeah.
birds.
Oh, pretty.
Sure are.
Pretty.
There's a heron and a duck and a crow all right hanging out. Look at how still he's being. Alright, heron, well, we can't wait forever, so we'll see you next time. 2.5 minutes of him standing perfectly still. Wouldn't even know he was alive. Maybe we should go check on him. How'd you make out?
2 keeper salmon, about 6 undersize, and 5 crab.
Right on.
It was a good day.
You ever seen this? So they grab the legs, hold the legs, and then you whack kind of right below its eyes, and it'll peel the whole shell off. Peel this whole like body.
Are they dead or alive?
They're dead now.
They're dead.
You know they're ready when you gotta scrape all the burn off of them. How's your lunch?
It's good, thank you.
Just filling up the water bag, and you can see I might have filled it up a little much. Pretty tight space for her. Chugging away. Babe's just crushing the dishes. This one with the blue stripe caught my attention, and Jenna pointed out that it's a Rawson. It looks like a little bit bigger, but look, their trident's got paint all over just like ours. We were just talking about going for a walk and finding some tidal pools to see some crabs and starfish, and then all of a sudden there's one face up, face down on the dock, and we weren't even going to come down this way. This is just
That must be a good luck sign.
Oh, what a beautiful afternoon.
Where my son is.
Look at that bird's got something in his mouth right on the dock
Oh.
in front of us. What is it, a crab or a fish?
Fish? A starfish.
Is it a starfish?
I think it might be.
And now he's gonna drop it and fly away.
What is it eating?
Maybe it is a
I
starfish.
think it is deer.
And it's like half in his mouth. What a weird
And
thing.
then it's not even flying away. Oh, look at it.
Oh, whoa, babe. He just swallowed the whole thing whole. He just swallowed it whole.
So weird. He just swallowed it whole.
He just swallowed it whole.
That can't feel good going down.
That was amazing. I am absolutely blown away. We're gonna have to figure out what kinds of bird those are, because that's what you
said. It was
said.
a seagull.
Well, but there's 2 big seagull-looking seagulls, and they must be something different, unless they're like some crazy big starfish-eating seagulls.
Jurassic Park style.
That was crazy.
I can't believe he ate it whole.
This is what traveling's all about. Like, that was incredible. Ugh, mind successfully blown.
Saw a starfish and then the bird eat it.
Yeah, we'll have to look that up. Look at all the minnows.
Well,
You can just see the water disturbance
I used to go minnow catching with nets.
with the little nets.
Yeah. How neat.
Oh, where are they getting all of these starfish
Starfish.
from?
Oh, he just did
Swallowed it whole again.
it crazy. This one looks skinnier.
Yeah.
Oh, he shakes it down.
So weird.
And I wonder where they're finding them. That's obviously their meal
Yeah.
of choice.
Let's follow the birds so we can find some starfish. Just walks away.
I know.
Well, see you later.
Well, see you later.
See, there's There's one?
Yeah, there's one there too.
There's one there?
Wow.
See?
Hey, look at all of them.
Like they're everywhere.
Hey, they're so little.
No wonder these birds have adapted to eating these starfish. They're everywhere.
I can't believe how many. They look so cool.
Let's see if I can get some underwater footy. That's why we got a GoPro, right? Gibson's Marina, $15 for a quart of oil. Wow. We had an old transducer was running an old depth finder that was reading in fathoms, and it was all
Ancient.
yeah. My dad gave us his old fish finder, which came with its own transducer, but we tried to hook it up to our existing transducer and thought it was working, but haven't been able to get it going again since we've been out. So we're gonna try mounting this one and then wiring it up and see if we can get, it's a little higher than our other ones under the floor in here on our keel, and this one's gonna be about a foot higher, so we'll just make sure we keep that in mind when we're looking at our depth. So we've got a 6-foot keel, right? Our draft
It's 6.
is about 6 feet.
So we'll always say 7 or 8 feet.
Yeah, and like we'll have to see kind of how straight down this aims, and it might just, like we might have to learn a conservative number if we start checking charts and tides and seeing what our meter reads, and then just kind of learn. We don't go in anything shallower than 15 feet on our depth finder, or we'll just have to figure that number out. (21, 22 feet). We're sitting in 6.5 feet of water, let's say, plus that 11 feet. So we're in like 17 feet of water. Where I have the new transducer, it tells me we're in about 22 feet of water.
Tribune Bay has excellent protection from the northwesterlies, but in a southeasterly, the bay can get very rough.
And what does it say about Ford Cove? That's the one with garbage drop.
Ford Cove Harbor Authority right there as well for garbage drop off. They just don't have much like facilities or water or fuel.
Mod Reef.
This is a reef marked at the north end. The reef extends nearly to the green buoy, denoting the entrance to Ford Cove. This guy says, I witnessed several boats heading straight for the reef at high tide, then turning at the very last minute back to the channel. The reef is very prominent at lower tides, but the high 12-foot plus tides will cover it just barely. Some electronic charts do not show this in the correct location. Yes.
We were warned before we left port that heading to Lasqueti was like stepping back in time. An island only an hour by boat from Vancouver Island, safeguarded by giant cedars, rocky outcrops, and an aversion by some to outsiders.
Okay, love.
Yeah?
Heaviest, dutiest. My last night in Gibson's, -1 outside at 10 o'clock. We got her up to 20 degrees in the boat though. Coming into some weather this week, so we're going to move a little bit over towards Vancouver Island. 23, 24 knots, 30 knots, and then dies off Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, 15 knots.
Wake me up next Tuesday.
My babe's favorite part about traveling is that things change all the time. Weather and wind for Lasqueti Island is looking pretty hairy, so we're gonna actually go across to the
island, the mainland of the Vancouver Island. Vancouver Island, north of Nanaimo. There's two bays that face north called Nuttall Bay and Northwest Bay, just east of Parksville. So we're gonna head to Nuttall Bay and have Northwest Bay as our backup.
Her little tripod.
Our first stop. First of many. What do you think of Gibson's?
Yeah, I like it. Everyone's pretty friendly.
Yeah? Got that small town sort of coast.
Like everyone was friendly in the market. Yeah, I like it.
All right, we're all checked out. Gibson's Marina, tying everything down, doing our final touches. We're gonna fill up with water, go over to the fuel dock, fill up with fuel, 30 amp cable, and then our water hose. And then we're gonna fire up, do our last minute system checks, and we got it. Not only do we have to get our way out of a tight marina, we're new to this for one. We need to back out, go that way.
Watch this side.
Okay, here on Fender. Perfect here, perfect. Looking good, looking good. We're gonna pull up right on the end here. We're gonna come right around the corner and dock right here. We're gonna have to back up. Babe, I need you to come back here and throw me that black rope quick. Nice work. That's my babe. It's our first time at a fuel dock.
That's how it works, and then you're pro.
Nice work, baby. $2.12 a liter.
Crazy how much it is.
I wonder if that one must have had a little fuel in it. This didn't quite hit 20 liters. $40. Good old British Columbia. How are we gonna get out of here, do you know? Motor forward and do a big circle.
There's enough room? Oh yeah.
Feel the boat balance off?
Yeah.
See you later, Gibsons. Hasta luego. Piece of cake, babe. You're becoming quite the little boater. We're underway. We are headed to Nuttall Bay. We've got 28.2 nautical miles to make today. We're traveling around 4.7 to 5.1 knots. We are traveling into the wind, which is going to probably slow us down a little bit. But once we turn and head more west, we're just going to be taking the wind across the beam. So it'll just throw us off course, but it shouldn't slow us down too much. We might just end up in the Lasqueti by accident. Cruising away from the Rockies. Cruising towards the island. We've still got a slow oil leak. We gotta kill the engine. Instead of pumping the old oil right now, I'm gonna put a new oil. Start her up. You okay? Give her a little gas. get too seasick when I'm outside, but once I have to crawl into the bilge, I lose sort of that reference.
How's that coffee in there?
Yeah, looks like coffee's about done. How's our speed?
5.
Okay. If I lose that sort of reference, I start to feel pretty nauseous, so throwing on some Sea-Bends. See how they work. How you doing, babe?
Doing good.
Doing good? Babe's smiling and laughing at me because I'm feeling ill. Seasick, they call it. But an old salt like me is never too ill to captain. So
I might have to get captain again.
I just noticed our anchor was sitting up off of its bow roller, and luckily I wrapped the chain around the cleat, so that kept it from deploying. But we use just a safety, a short bungee here to safety out our anchor, and it's gone.
And it's gone.
So there's our replacement for now. Last thing we want is our anchor to drop while we're traveling. Can't imagine what kind of chaos that would cause. So. All good, my love?
Okay, why don't you go get off for a minute?
Just 1,000 degrees all of a sudden. Oh, the human body. Look, you can see Vancouver. Number of times I've been seasick. 1 so far. CJ, seasick, Georgia Strait. You got me. It's so funny, like, anytime we're anywhere sitting still, Jenna feels unwell. But once we start moving, she feels great and I feel unwell. So there's always at least one of us to take care of the other. Make a pretty good team. And she just kissed me after I threw up. Find yourselves a girl that will kiss you after you're seasick. That's love. All right, baby doll.
I could put a ginger ale in a cup.
Sure, that would be great. Love that girl. Well, Sea-Bends. Feeling pretty rough. What's the first thing you're gonna do when we get on anchor?
Probably put some PJs on.
PJs and the diesel heater.
Yeah.
A little warm-up action.
Going the wrong way.
I'm flying.
Today's Spanish word of the day is balena. Balena means whale. It's also the name of the islands that are in front of us. Balenas Islands, which of course means Whale Island. Heading towards our left turn at the buoy, and we're finally with no wind and like following seas. What do you think, babe?
I think we made the right choice.
I think so. Whoever's first to guess what it is makes dinner.
A log.
That's it? Just a boring old log?
Yeah, what's your cooking dinner?
No, you guessed it first. You're cooking dinner, I said. Yes! See? We made it. Almost. That's our first crossing, you know? Our first passage.
No, we did one with the old.
Oh yeah, we did the Georgia Strait across. That's right. That's our second crossing. How
many
Wow.
times did you throw up?
We haven't done the ocean. This time, I threw up 6 times. 6 times in 6 hours. It's about par for the course. We like to stand up here and steer with our feet. We're actually headed over here, but there is a reef underwater called Cottam Reef. So according to Navionics, we can't just go straight down. We're gonna go out and around. There's a buoy or a marker. There's a buoy or a marker for this area that marks safe passage around the reef. So we're gonna make sure to stay seaward of that marker. We're going to cruise around it and then turn back south into this little bay here and see if we can find good holding for the night. First time anchoring with our depth finder working, so it should be fairly easy to find a good depth and get out the proper scope without too much guesswork. Sorry, it's a clutter zone up there. That seems like a nice spot to sit though, yeah.
Oh, I like it out here.
Big left turn into Nuttall Bay. Yarr. Still in 70 feet of water. Oh, I'd like to be a little bit. Okay, so I've just set us on a slight reverse. I'm gonna go dump the anchor. What's our depth? Can you tell?
64. What should I do?
I don't have 7 to 1 for 64.
Okay, so let's go forward and do it again.
.46 feet or something until it hit, so you can go backwards just like that. Give it a little gas. I'm a little worried about our swinging radius so close to shore.
Yeah, this is a little different.
Well, let's set it. We'll go do an anchor alarm and have a look. I'm just trying to get the scope out, which is our whole road, right? 200 feet, 5 to 1 on a 40-foot anchorage. That's it. You did it.
Why don't you come look?
You anchored.
So close to the wall.
Yeah.
So can you tell me where you see the depth? Like you click on it?
Yeah,
It
so
says
six, this line is 6.6 feet, and then this line that we're close to is 16.4 feet.
Oh,
We made it.
look at some of the houses.
I know. These people are probably gonna be out on their beach tomorrow being like, hey, you bums, get out of our bay.
Oh, like cute.
Yeah, they're pretty incredible, aren't they? Look at how calm it is.
Who's not seasick anymore?
I am not seasick anymore.
So the fun thing about cruising is you have kind of two modes. You have travel mode and then you have non-travel mode, and every time you decide to do one or the other you have to switch back and forth, so everything in the boat gets kind of tucked away, hunkered down, and ready to roll. We didn't eat lunch. We need to make some food. We need to set an anchor alarm. We need to get the anchor light on. We try to save all the amps now that we're here, not running the motor. We will have to run the motor to keep things afloat, but right now we don't need all the extras. There we go. It's looking better already. Well, at the end of a long day of travel, we forgot to set a GPS point for our anchor. So it's just out there somewhere.
Shoot.
So stupid.
I forgot we have to do that.
It was a bit of a tricky marina to get into, and then we had to go to a fuel dock, and like this stuff's all new to us, so we're still anxious about a lot of it. But we just crushed it. We just crushed it today. We only made one little scratch on our boat. Yeah, Nuttall Bay. I'll send it to you. Okay, love you.
Love you too.
Good night.
Love you, Jenna.
Bye, Donna.
Bye, honey. Talk to you tomorrow.
We'll talk to you tomorrow. Good night.
You see him? To the left a little bit. Quick, quick, quick. They're moving. Oh, hello there. We're out looking for some lions. Lions of the sea. There is a large group of them passing in front of us, but they're hard to see with a wide-angle lens. Look at how many of them there are. Not bad for being out of bed for 6 minutes. Seven and 30. Just got our motor started to make some coffee and breakfast. Charge up the batteries for the day. We've also got a motor mount that loosened up while we were traveling. So we'll go in and have a look at that as well, see if we can tighten it up.
Charlie's seasick. I'm starting to feel a little ill myself. It's pretty hairy out there.
It's not even that hairy yet. It's just swelling through it.
So we're not feeling too good. Here's the Cappy down here. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
It's gonna be like this for a few days probably.
Just learned this little tip from our quick tips book, instant handbook. Great little pocket guide with short chapters and lots of pictures for on the go. We're going to try to orient our boat with a spring line off the back quarter. See if we can point the bow into the swell and see if that helps with some of the rolliness of this anchorage. My seasickness, my 2 days of seasickness that Jenna's been taking care of me. I've just been laying around puking up ginger taps and gravel. So let's see if we can make a bit of a change for tonight, and then we'll be trying to move somewhere else tomorrow. We've got the wind coming from the bow, but then our swell's coming from, you can see just little swell lines, and it's not much, but it's enough that we're bobbing around. So we're just going to try to spin the boat into the waves using some extra lines. Essentially what we've done is created a bridle on the starboard side. We've still got our main anchor point off the bow roller. I've got the bridle set up from a starboard stern cleat down to our anchor rod, and then the anchor rod still coming off the bow. So you can see it's actually turned the boat so that the bow is facing almost out to seaward. We want it to turn a little more. So far it seems to be working. So even though we've lost some wind, this anchor bridle that we built is holding us a little bit more out to the swell. If you can see, now we're bopping up and down more than side to side. And there's not a huge amount of swell coming into the bay, but when you're side to side it can be pretty uncomfortable. We've moved quite a bit on our anchor alarm, so we're gonna go take out our stern tie, see if it'll stop us. It must be dragging. Nice. Yeah, we're way too close to these rocks, babe. Can you come out? Can you throw your coat on and come out, please? I don't like how close we are to these rocks. Yeah, we're way too close to these rocks, babe. Can you come out? Can you throw your coat on and come out, please? I don't like how close we are to these rocks, so we're gonna motor towards the anchor. We're not sure if it makes more sense to try to go out and re-anchor in this wind, or now that we're holding, if we stay on watch. How are you doing, babe?
It's closer than I'd like to be.
Well, should we try to re-anchor it? Well, at least we got off those rocks.
I'd say like now, if we want to put it down now.
Well, let's get a little bit more distance into the wind, okay? Put it in neutral. How's our depth?
Looks like 53.
Okay. Okay, can you put it in reverse? You can turn the engine off.
You sure?
Yeah. I ripped my hand open, babe.
On what?
This rope, I think.
Are we holding?
It's just paying out now. Thanks, baby. Just my middle finger. Hey, nice work, dude. I'm so proud of you. Oh, my heart. Well, now you know what it's like to re-anchor in 30 to 40k winds. Feel a little better about that?
Yeah, but still a little like. I hope this works.
Yeah, this has got to work.
Need for your hand.
Oh, wasn't that exciting? Oh, sail grib anchor alarm. If we didn't have you, I'm not sure what we would have done here.
Yeah.
I think this is a true testament to sail grib. We stayed in this circle pattern for a couple of days, and then tonight we were blown way out on this zigzag pattern towards these rocks, and it was no nonsense. We had to get up and re-anchor. Doesn't look like we got as far off as we would have liked, but we're definitely a lot better off, and it feels like we're holding. Important lessons learned about bridles and stern ties and high winds. And
You can only manipulate your boat so much.
what are you yawning for?
Tired.
Why are you so tired?
We couldn't be happier. Like a bad dream. One day you just wake up and it's all over. There's still a little swell coming in, but the wind and rain has stopped. The sun is out and we are getting out of here. Where are we going?
Where are we going? And we're off to Henry Bay. We're leaving Nettle Bay because it's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. It's been a rough few days and we're excited. We're moving somewhere different and we're leaving. Yay. Making a coffee for the road. How are you doing, Kathy?
Yeah, we just drove a circle around our anchor. The sea lions are waiting to say goodbye. They've come to see us off. Goodbye, sweet Nuttall Bay. See ya never. We're motoring, but we've got a little bit of wind coming from behind us, which has got our flag starting to fly forwards, which looks pretty strange to the brain. Oh, come on, flag. Anyways, the wind also from our rear is causing our exhaust to coming up into the cockpit, which makes for a pretty stinky ride. Hoping that the wind's gonna shift here, or we'll have to maybe adjust our course. We're a third of the way. Maybe not 3 hours then yet, 2.5 hours. Someone's sailing by, going south, and we're just getting into the rain, heading north. As we're starting to approach the channel between Vancouver Island and Denman Island, winds picked up, it's blowing. There's a ferry, a cable ferry that runs in between Denman and Vancouver Island. We're gonna need to watch out for and make sure we have a green light on the shore crossing terminals before we proceed. We haven't put ledges on the kitchen yet, and we're far from having a gimbal. Jenna's brave enough to make us some lunch in there while we're underway. Let's see how it's going. How's it going? Thanks, baby.
So it's overfilling.
Lunchtime. Yum. Sapporo Ichiban, cup of soup. Make my day. Jenna relaxing in the sun in her toque in front of her first British Columbian lighthouse. This lighthouse is located on the southern point of Denman Island. You think those are girl birds or boy birds?
Probably boys.
Boy birds.
I didn't get it.
Just approaching the cable ferry here on Denman. The next sailing's in about 10 minutes. So instead of racing it, I think we're just gonna get a little closer, see what time it is, and if they're still green, we'll power through, but if it's changing to red, we'll just do a loop, because they'll only take a few minutes to cross the channel, 10 minutes, until it should be green light again. We're just here waiting for the Denman cable ferry to finish its crossing. We just wanted to give a big shout. Huh? It's green? I was going to give a big shout out to our patrons, but the light's green and we don't have any. Just pulling into Henry Bay. We're just doing our U-turn to anchor into the wind. Just watching our depth, trying to get to about 40 feet, so we have our 5-to-1 scope. Navigating and making lunch in there, chaos, just everything all together. Real nice work. Real nice work. This is me, babe.
What's that?
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of your work.
Thanks for getting us here, dear.
I really need to get some proper anchoring gloves. This is just a repeat of Nuttall Bay stings. Okay, we're here. That's from my old man. It's still working, but it's full of fog. Thanks, Pop.
Thanks, Murray.
Gonna have a look at it tonight, see if we can get it cleaned out and use it properly tomorrow for our transit over to Comox. We're in Henry Bay. It's more of a, they say it's more of a bite than a bay, but we're here. There's a few cottages and stuff. And then there's this long spit of land that at low tide you can walk 2 miles towards Comox. So we're anchored in, protected a bit from the north, and of course it's blowing lightly from the south. Tomorrow we'll make the 1 hour trip over to Comox, hour and a half. There's a few marinas in Comox. We're gonna see about getting some work done on the boat and take a shower, get a tattoo that says Comox 2022, get a CJ tattoo, power, and the transducer plugs are both underneath, and this guy lifts right off. Come on, baby. I can take it apart. Chicken, rice, dinner's served. Henry Bay, we've got wind, we've got sun, we've got the moon. Sunset, calm as a lake. And there's Comox off in the distance. 6:56, we're up. We're gonna just start the boat. It was down to 5 degrees in here overnight, so it was quite a chilly morning. 0.5 degrees outside, and the moon is just setting over Comox. So we're gonna get her started and make some coffee, pancakes, and then make the motor over. I'm trying to leave around 8, so see how we do. My seat's all frozen. Just an absolutely enormous amount of seabirds lined Comox Harbor. We're driving through droves of them. They go all the way down the harbor. They're all behind us. We're surrounded in seagulls. What do you say, babe? 10, 12,000? That's a lot of birds.
Hey babe, welcome to Comox. How does Comox feel so far?
I don't know yet.
How many seals did you see?
Like probably 8.
8 or 10 seals and about 10,000 birds. Now that we're here in Comox, we can get back to relaxing by getting back to work. So first thing we gotta do, run our power cable, get the boat plugged into some power, and then we'll just adjust our dock lines. Just getting ready to go check out Comox for some groceries. All bundled up. It's sunny but windy. We've got the buggy ready to rock, and we've got to walk about 1 kilometer. Groceries when you're traveling are expensive. We'll be lucky if this is under $300 just to feed 2 of us for 2 weeks. Food costs are just so high. We need to start catching some fish and crab and get this protein cost down with help. Can't skimp on Band-Aids, but for $12 for 30 ginger tabs, I think I'll just go with seasickness for now. We're back from our first walking trip to get groceries. We got our buggy full of groceries. Now we gotta load everything into the boat. Babe, we should have done laundry at high tide so we didn't have to go up this big ramp. So we've been asking around about buying some polyester thread to fix our sails and to start doing some canvas work. And one of the ladies at the Harbor Authority knew somebody on one of the docks that did sail work. So we went and asked, and I ended up buying almost a full spool. So we're gonna get our sail repaired, learn how to use our zigzag sewing machine. Maybe we'll fix our flag, maybe we'll make some canvas work. Good old Comox coming through. Jenna's slaving away in the kitchen, doing some food prep.
Doesn't know how to cut an onion.
Oh, you're doing great. And making burgers for tonight and to throw in the freezer. And I've pulled off the mainsail and the mainsail cover. Have a look at them tonight. But even though it's windy, it's not raining. So I'm gonna try to do a little work out here. But we got shore power.
shower time. We bought a Wi-Fi repeater, so just trying to set it up with the marina internet. Most marinas have internet at the office, and then a lot of them have it down on the docks, but it's still not very strong, so the repeater lets us pick up the signal and repeat it so that we can connect our devices in our boat. Okay, well, it's obviously not a 2G, so if it's not a 2G, it should be a 5G. CDHA East, there it is. Use that. Password. Oh, simple as 1, 2, 3. Look at this. Look at this. Huge oyster. The biggest oyster I've ever seen. Seriously. Look at the size of that. Giant. We filled our water bag yesterday before leaving port in Comox, and the top fitting must have been loose. Dumped all the water into the bilge. Pretty much empty here this morning. We do have 10 gallons still in jerry cans, so we'll put that in and make sure these fittings are tight before we do that. Something else we'll have to check while we're filling our tanks. We only had a little bit of rain last night, but it was enough if you leave all your shoes outside. Royston Anchorage. Jenna's set up to watch dailies. I'm gonna set up the Barracuda. Heavy for this table, eh?
Oh, yeah.
Look at that sunshine on your face, though.
Feels nice.
So we're gonna unpack the sail. The main sail has a big repair at the top. Needs, I think it's probably like a 14-inch seam that we're gonna re-stitch. Part of the reason we got the Barracuda sewing machine was to repair our own sails. Sail repair can be quite expensive. There's some areas on our sail that can be repaired by hand. We grabbed a Speedy Stitcher to help with that, which is basically a sewing awl. Helps you push the needle through many layers of thicker fabric. So today, because it's sunny out, we're gonna set up here in the cockpit for some sail repair, see if we can get that big main stitch sewn up with the machine,
and then look at the rest of our repairs and see. Jenna has a list of all of the repairs that need done, and we'll kind of go through them and decide if they're a hand repair or a machine repair. Do what we can on the machine today with the weather permitting. And it's gonna be nice today and tomorrow. So we've got a couple days. Just setting up here in the cockpit to do some sewing. Got our mainsail repair that we've been waiting to work on so we could actually get out and use the sails comfortably anyways. This is the big one. It's about an 18-inch seam. It's not a tear, but all the stitching has come out of the top seam. So luckily all the material's in good shape. We're just gonna run some new stitches. It's 3 rows of a zigzag stitch, and we're gonna have to learn what size it kind of punches at, so we'll do a little bit of practice with the Barracuda. The idea is to match the zigzags in the seam here, which should be the same high size as these zigzags in the next seam.
What are you doing?
I am trying to adjust the tension to get an even stitch. Practicing on the scrap that they sent with the machine so I can be happy with our stitch size and tension before repairing this guy.
Kind of cool you get to sew in your cockpit of your boat though.
Yeah, it's a nice sunny day, so we got some solar amps flowing and
A little windy.
the wind is helping charge up batteries so we can sew a little bit.
Back to work.
So I think I finally got the tension dialed in, and not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 adjustments. So here you can see a shallow zigzag, that's maybe a 2, whereas the one that we're going to stitch on is down here at about a 5. So even though the dial doesn't go all the way over 5, that would be all the way left, which is 5. The joys of learning. So our first stitch is definitely not perfect. It's the first one on the left. So I stopped when it started to get out of line. And then our second stitch, I lined up a lot better, but it's still not perfect. There's some smaller spots. There's one spot here where it missed a stitch. And then it does kind of curve off straight here at the bottom. You know, it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than pins, so it's going to hold that straight, almost like a tack weld. Just hold it in position so we can put 3 more good stitches and make a nice seam. get quite a few repairs done on this sail today. This top seam was the biggest one. It was a hole, and now it's not. So it's definitely some amateur level stitching, but not bad for my first day. I mean, it's gonna work. That's all that matters. Did quite a few repairs. We're gonna remount the sliders and get it out for a sail tomorrow. Well, I tried to get some time lapse of me putting the mainsail back on the boom and the mast back in the tracks, really. But it looks like the GoPro froze. So nice one, GoPro. We're gonna throw the jib. We got two jibs. One's in really rough shape and one's in pretty good shape. So we're gonna throw the good shape jib on the forestay and just have a look, make sure that everything's happy for tomorrow's first sail of CJ. The freshwater pump is not firing. We checked the fuse, seems fine. I checked the wiring and it seems fine as well. So it must be the pump. We're gonna probably pull it out, put the new one in. Luckily we grabbed a spare because this one was starting to sound rough, and we bought an inexpensive pump so we could carry a spare. And then I'll have a look at this one, see if I can fix her up. I don't know, something stuck it up. It just got stuck. I just gave it a whack. I turned it on, I gave it a whack, and it spat out whatever it was stuck on. There she goes. Back to shaking the whole boat. That's all put back together. Let's give her the old test.
Don't show all our dirty dishes.
Well, we only have dirty dishes because we had a broken pump. Now we got air to bleed. And the pump's working.
Good job. The pump didn't sound great again, and it stopped working again.
So same problem. Just doesn't want to clear this time, so we're gonna take it out. I don't want to say it's getting old. It's not that old. Electric motor oil. We're into it now, dear. So the pump motor's fine. We're able to test it by jumpering these two together. Obviously they're not clean, but the motor's functioning, so it's something in the pressure switch again. I was able to get it open. These are just way too corroded, and even inside the switch you can see some corrosion. look at all these dirty Q-tips. All of that dirt came off of the electrical connections between this wire and this wire through this pressure switch. So all that corrosion is what was causing it to function poorly and eventually quit. We're trying to wait one more day to head into Comox, but it's starting to get a little swelly. There's no wind, so the boat is just spinning on its own accord. The wind usually keeps us in the facing bow to the swell. But without the wind, we're just kind of bobbing around and things are falling. It's only supposed to get worse. It's supposed to be about twice the swell height in a couple hours. So instead of staying here and being uncomfortable all day, being unproductive, we're gonna head into harbor and see if we can actually get a few things done. We've got a broken down water pump. We've got I don't even know, the water bag was leaking again. The batteries are a constant problem. So we're gonna just go. We can't even sail over there because there's no wind. I'm gonna start it and put it in low forward and just point us towards the swell to at least relieve the side to side here. Jenna's going for a ride at the theme park. She's trying to send us into the wrecks. This fence pole is really getting the test of a lifetime. I had to reinforce it with some rope. It's only supposed to get worse. It's supposed to be about twice the swell. We're gonna just go.
Please.
Oh yeah, this is fun.
Oh, we're turning sideways.
Go hard to starboard. Get your depth finder on and your lights too, please. Okay, hard to port.
Yeah, can only do one thing at a time here.
Straighten out. Just black, stinky mud. All good?
Yeah.
life is too hard. We came in just a little too hot. We actually ended up just nipping this guy's anchor. Babe's not gonna be happy. How you doing?
Oh, that was stressful.
Yeah.
We need insurance and a dog to practice on for your girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we keep running into big heavy-duty steel fishing boats, we'll be okay. Try not to dock near any catamarans. Little rain day here in Comox. So I'm gonna pull all the chain and their anchor, everything onto the dock. We'll string it out, rinse it off, rinse out the anchor locker.
It's pretty muddy.
Yeah, it's full of like the mud and the sea life and just crap that gets caught in it and stuff that starts to grow on it and just starts to stink. The scrub brush obviously will be done a little better. Part of washing all the debris down the anchor locker is it clogs the drain at the bottom. There she goes. Anchor locker's cleaned out. I'm gonna change that knot and yeah, put the road back in. It's all cleaned up too. Picked up some gear for starting to do some salmon fishing, and then we went to the dollar store and grabbed some gear for crabbing and clams and mussels, oysters. So we got a nice big bucket for $4. We got a $4 tackle box, got some $3.50 rope, got a $1.50 clam digging spoon, just a stainless steel spoon to do some foraging and some fishing. We're at Independent Grocer doing a re-provision, and this lovely lady is going to see if she has a couple of milk crates for me. So we're going to see if we can use them to build our first iteration DIY budget crab trap. Rain day, just almost done working on the crab trap. Fishing season starts tomorrow. We're gonna see about grabbing some gear. I'm gonna service this reel. last time we were here, the boat had moved and the hose was stretched, and so it must have gone too far, and it sounds like it cracked something because now we've got water leaking down from that fitting, and it's leaking into the bilge by filling up our water bag area, and then leaking down. And so something in there must be cracked. So we're gonna shut it down and take it apart. Trying to figure out this water fixture. I can't remember how the PEX attaches.
It's all in one place. Canadian Tire and the store.
You're just way in there.
Oh,
It's almost eating you.
in there.
How's it going?
I don't know yet. Depends if I'm spinning this thing the right way or not, or if it's just spinning outside. Today's the day. The Mitchells, my parents, are finally coming for a visit. We haven't seen anybody in a couple years, so it's gonna be kind of the big first time, and we're just tidying up. Kind of feels like they're coming to see your room that you've been cleaning for 2 years and still aren't finished. So they're just about here. After only getting lost twice, the Mitchells are here.
Hey!
Look at that pizza. Holy man.
Oh my god.
Hey, Miss Jenna.
Hi.
How you doing?
How are ya?
Good. I see her. She looks a lot different. Looks really good.
Thanks for coming.
You guys hungry?
Yeah, you hungry?
Yeah.
The son doesn't come home for lunch. Mama has to come to the island. It's pretty nice, actually. Yeah. Thanks.
Oh. Ocean view. Holy cow, this is like an apartment.
Yeah.
I know. We got a balcony too.
Morning. Day 2. Mitchell's visit. We're gonna see if we can get Mama Mitchell and Papa Mitchell out on CJ today. I think we'll aim for Henry Bay if the weather holds, and maybe go out and anchor for lunch and then see if we can catch some dinner. We got our first charter on CJ today. We borrowed a couple of life vests from the Harbor Authority here. Harbor authorities are fantastic. Flags are dead still, slack tide, so we're gonna putter out and see if we can get some wind building without too much rain.
seal on your left. Look, Dad, Mom. Big seal head. And the ladies are packed and ready for their day at sea. Let's see if we can get out of here without any problems and make them proud. There it is, the first step aboard CJ.
We're gonna go swimming today?
I don't think so.
Let's go, Captain Charlie. Mary, I can't see your face. Only the lower
CJ, the
body.
real CJ.
There we go. Jen, stay there. Let me
Yeah,
see.
you can probably
Jen's gonna
stand
give
up
the
when I
tour.
move that too. So
Everybody, life jackets, we're all good. Which one am I gonna have? This one? Come on, old girl. Come on, TJ. Get out. What do you need to do, dear?
I think we're gonna tie that corner here and then just let the boat.
That's the only way I really know.
Okay, so let's do that.
We've only done this a few times. I'm leaving the dock, so it's always stressful. Because there's other boats. We're always scared to hit other boats.
Okay, we can go into forward.
A little bit of throttle.
Okay, you're good, Michael?
Give it some throttle.
Yeah.
Going for the catch of the day. You have to turn around.
Just perfect.
We need to give it some gas.
There you go. So you ready? You okay? You great? Okay. Well, yeah, I understand it. So, you rise to the occasion under pressure, and you did absolutely perfect.
A lot of low-lying clouds over there too, though.
Yeah.
Valley. We get so much fog. And the seagulls. We're hanging out two together.
Traffic.
Looking for food.
You're good.
Just coming around the breakwater.
Yeah, you're good.
Thanks, baby. Okay, this is it. We're underway.
Oh, stressful part zone.
Yeah, man, you did fantastic. Thank you for your help. Learning every time we get out of there. It's something different, huh?
Yeah.
It's never the same conditions every time we leave.
Yeah.
Hurry.
Oh yeah, we're good. Mom,
Hurry.
big bald eagle here.
You're the second mate. I'm the third mate. I'm the guest commander.
heading for the north point of that island.
Okay.
It's Henry Bay.
Just wait till you get into bed tonight. You'll be going like this.
Right back here to the winch. And then to the cleat.
So around it?
Yeah, just do one wrap for now, and then to the cleat. So let's just set them up. We're going to put a figure 8 in the tail of it at the end. We're going to do a regular knot, but we're going to do an extra wrap. So it makes that 8. Okay.
Jenna, you look like the Dark Knight from here with your either that or Obi-Wan Kenobi. Captain, is it going to be lunch soon?
Yep. Look at that sail.
Just like a kid. Good.
Okay, we're sailing. Both their sails up.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. While we're sailing out of Comox. First time we've moved CJ on her sails. We've got Mama and Papa Mitchell aboard. Jenna's running the boat. Helm, learning how to sail. So, first charter on CJ. Both sails up. She's looking good.
So then you just give it a little turn downwind until everything tightens up again. And then that's, see, you can't go where you want to go.
Right.
And that's the hard thing to learn really about sailing. You have to go where the equipment lets you go. So right now you're going that way over there, right? And that's where you can get to.
We're moving our home for free.
Moving her for free. Where are we moving today?
Just taking it easy over here.
Hey, girly girls. So, today's our first day sailing on your boat, Jenna. Can you give us first thoughts?
First thoughts, and I'm glad you're here to help. And yeah, it's nice to have you both here.
Feel that? Ah, yeah, baby.
Is it too leany? Well, should Jenna and I get on that side?
No, you're
It's up to
fine.
you, but this is how the boat moves. Basically, it's a plane.
Well, I'd like to treat you to a pedicure, Jenna. I know. What?
That's not necessary.
Well, you say that, and you know what?
Who's
I
gonna
don't know when
see
you
my
had your
teeth?
hair done.
I haven't.
They're the
Why
last
do you
two
look
in the
at my
group
lips?
that
Do I
still
have to look at
die.
my teeth?
No,
I feel
I'm
like
just
looking
looking
at
at
my
myself in the mirror.
Oh, and are you? Are you checking yourself? Are you making me self-conscious?
I just noticed it. In fact, I put my phone on and it's looking right at me and I think, no, where's the reverse? I didn't mean for that. She says, enjoy your boat ride. Well, you know, it was looking promising, and look at this. I mean, if, you know,
We need this to...
yeah, to shift over, man. Look, but it just makes everything over there look so amazing too, like the light behind the mountains. I'm always just fascinated with the scenery. I remember you sending a picture of all those Post-it notes of all the things you had to
Oh,
do.
yeah. That was
Some
wrong.
of them still aren't done.
I don't see any notes
We actually
though.
saw that on Delos. That was something we learned from a
Yeah.
different cruising channel.
So
We
after that
decided to
side, you
try
put
it.
them to the side where you were completing?
Mm-hmm. And then into the garbage. Yeah.
It was just a more visual way of
Yeah,
tracking.
It helped. It
You know,
really
we
helped.
We had
I'm
a
sure it
list, but
did.
then when we were sitting there watching TV in the evenings, we had a whole list up behind us, and we'd just look at them endlessly and think.
Reminder.
I'd run every job through my head 10 times before we touched the sticky.
Yeah.
Like, it was pretty overwhelming, to be honest, but
I can't.
There's
Yeah, it
nothing
definitely
wrong
helped.
with admitting that, that's for sure.
this whole thing, Mom, has been just overwhelming, and part of
Hell and back.
part of what I've been saying is we bit off more than we could chew, but we just kept chewing.
That's, you did say that at one
And now we're
point.
so full.
Yeah. At some point.
We're so full, Donna. As full as we can be.
Yeah, it's definitely been a.
Oh, but it warms my heart to see the sails up for you today.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference for my mental health. We had our day at sea yesterday. Today's our day on land. The picnic cam.
How are you both doing today?
Yeah.
I threw those chips back there and just getting all the way up here.
No worries. We'll find space for them in my belly. How are you feeling?
I'm
Re-
feeling fine.
Recovering okay from the sailing adventure yesterday?
That was a full day in exhausting.
Yeah. We never do anything on land
No,
because we don't have a vehicle.
yeah.
So there's a beach by the airport, which is 15 minutes, and we can go there and spend some time walking the beach and
Have a lunch.
have lunch. You want a merry-go-round?
Hey, hold on. Better hold on.
Are you holding on? Yeah. They used to have these when we were kids. They used to be so dangerous. I don't think anything's changed. You holding on? Yeah. Are you sure?
Faster, faster.
Here comes the grilled cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's having fun?
Who's going back?
You want me to slow down?
Yeah, okay, stop her. She's making me sick.
Thanks, dear. Look at us. Just germaphobe.
Good. Dig deeper. Good. Keep digging down. One's dead. That one's live. That one's live. Oh no, he's dead.
This one might be live. A little dry.
Okay. Give him a wash, a rinse off. And Jenna has officially dug her
first clams.
That's what a clam looks
Varnish
like.
clams. These are varnish clams. So we don't always have to dig. Look right here. That's a clam just sitting on the surface. So if you look in where there's shallow water, we got the great clam race going on. We've got 3 clams entry. We got mama clam, baby clam, and daddy clam. And we're gonna see if any of them wake up and try to escape. Otherwise, mama and daddy will be dinner. Patience. Well, we're out hand digging today, and I'm pretty sure I hit my daily limit, so we're gonna leave some small ones and see if we can upgrade them to some bigger ones. Mostly varnish clams. Looks like some manillas as well. Maybe some butter or little necks. A couple of oysters. 1 dead crab. Yeah, pretty good day, I'd say. Got a bucket full of clams. A nice day for a walk on the beach. The sun's out even. Jenna and I each dug our own first clams out of the actual digging, out of the under the sand. Not just surface clams anymore, we're clam diggers. Officially clam diggers. Got all these driftwood shelters people are building for fun. Yeah, it's dead today.
Where these shells of some
V.
sort.
Starts with a V.
Varnish.
Varnish clam.
And we got Manila or
Manila.
buttercrab.
Manila
Manila
clams. Because of the 2 different colors. I believe they're Manila. See how this one almost has like perfect stripes. These 2, see how similar the pattern on these 2 are? That's
These
how.
look different though.
Yeah, so they're all same, but they're all trying to look like these 2.
And then
What else?
We have a oyster.
That's an oyster. That's an oyster. And what's this big thing?
An oyster?
That's an oyster.
Yeah, I can. There you go. I like it chilled.
Okay, lemon juice, white wine, shallots, garlic, dill, steaming clams.
Oh. All 8 of our clams. Hinge, that's where it opens. Okay. So you keep the rounded part of the shell down. See how this one's rounded and this one's flat? So we're gonna go in at the hinge. That's where that sharp tipped knife comes in handy.
At the store?
Yeah.
That we saw. And how do they open the shell? They just have control to keep it closed or open?
Yeah, they have muscles that are holding it closed right now. That's what I'm trying to get in at. Cut his adductor muscles.
Be gentle.
No, you can't be gentle or you'll never get into one. I may never get into one.
Good. Just put him back in the ocean.
I might have to.
Poor little guy. Just execution. My boyfriend's executing a oyster. But the oyster's winning.
He really is, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I got in this side, and once you get in one side, you can kind of keep the knife against the flat shell and run it all the way around. We're basically trying to cut the top shell off and keep the whole meat inside intact.
How do they do it in restaurants?
They have that little knife, and they have people who have done it 1,000 times before. And they go in the back, they go slice, slice, and it comes off. So I'm working the knife around the flat top of the shell, cutting his muscles from holding the shell closed. You ready?
No.
Here it comes. My first shucked oyster. Hand harvested, shucked out of the sea. Scrape all the meat off the top shell so it all stays together on the bottom shell. Gross.
How'd you get it open?
Just a steak knife. And that, my dear, is a live oyster.
So it's like living still?
This right here,
How do you know
big
it's
ball
alive?
of meat.
How do you know he's still alive though?
Because he was just holding his shell closed. This is now edible. We would put a little bit of seasoning
Why did
in
they
here
leave it in
and
the
then
shell?
slurp it. Because it's just got, it's full of flavor. The shell's got all of its natural juices.
Yeah.
You don't have to leave them in the shell. You can take them out and bake them. You can batter them and deep fry them. Have deep fried oysters.
That's where pearls come from.
Well, where's
We
the
were looking
pearls?
at those in Hawaii. Kaylee was talking to the guy.
It would be inside the meat.
Well, where is it?
Trying to get the last few things of dinner ready. So we got guacamole getting mixed up in the pot. And then we've got clams, steamed clams in lemon, dill, butter with some white wine. We've got corn on the cob, cobbed corn. And then we've got 2 flavors of pizza.
There, rolling. What is
Pearl?
that?
Get out.
It's a pearl? How much do we
Charlie.
get for that?
Oh, that's hilarious.
How much is that worth?
I was gonna say, better be worth a lot. Now he's suffering over
Can't believe I
here.
swallowed that. Yum! That was delicious. Let's do it again.
She's serious about these brownies. We might have to go get around the ice cream.
I don't know how I like the lighting.
This
in
is
the
what my
kitchen.
son would be doing.
It's always giving me a hard time. Let's see how we can do some
Don't
lighting
get too much lighting in
fixes
here.
here. How's that?
I'm showing him how to make
Yeah.
Let's see. That looks way
Recover
better.
some archer.
So okay, so the most important part about brownies is what?
Low temperature, like low rack in the oven.
Mm-mm.
Don't overstir them. Don't add nuts for people that are. So this side is the plain brownies with extra, what is it called?
Plain.
Chunks of chocolate. Yeah, chocolate chunks in these ones.
Feeling wet down my sleeve.
Oh, wet down the
I don't
sleeve.
know.
Here, let me assist
Down,
you.
put it down the sleeve.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, who got me that?
I did, yes.
Comox Harbor, gorgeous day. It's our first day taking this beautiful new pleasure yacht. What do we call it? Turn our old boat into a classy yacht. First day taking it out on our own under sail, so we're just motoring out of the harbor. We're going to get clear of the spit, and then we're going to put the sails up and sail over to Denman Island, Henry Bay for a night, and make a plan if we're going to do a little bit of sailing up and down the coast, or if we're going to learn a little more here before going anywhere. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good.
Good? Sun's shining? Gorgeous day. Our first day sailing our boat on our own. Our first run. We got a little bit of luffing going on in the jib, but we're trying to run wing on wing with a light wind, moving probably 4.5 knots. It's hard to find sunshine when you're heading into the sun. The sails are blocking it. But heading over to Denman Island, so we'll be doing some jibing here shortly, but absolutely beautiful blue sky day. We're on a wing-on-wing run with following seas. If we had a whisker pole to hold that jib out, it wouldn't be luffing back and forth, but the mainsail's definitely got us moving. This is where you'd fly a Genoa or a Gennaker, Spinnaker, a big balloon sail that just catches the wind and hauls you downwind. We're almost going dead downwind. You can see the wind indicator there, the arrows in between the two squares, which is basically dead downwind. Actually, I mean, it is dead downwind. And sure looks nice with the sails up on this camera, dear. It really does. Yeah, not as nice as this view here. Oh, look at that smile. Just on our final approach to Henry Bay. We're on a port tack beam reach. Sails are performing well. We had one minor jibe incident. How was that?
Pretty scary.
Pretty scary. Remember what happened?
I remember what happened, not necessarily know why it happened, but I definitely was there for it.
Unfortunately, we had a boom swing across the cockpit and
Almost lost our heads.
sort of shock load.
You think this is cracked?
Well, it is already. It's not from us.
Okay.
It's just old, but that's when this stuff all gets shock loaded. And yeah, a little bit of a scare, but I always find I learn my lesson when you get a little scare. So I don't think we'll be doing any more scary jibes. I think we learned today, pretty important.
Yeah. Time to go fishing.
Almost time to go fishing, crabbing. If we can figure out a way to get to shore, this area is open for all shellfish, varnish clams, manila clams, oysters, and all the scallops. So if we can get this surfboard, maybe we'll get the surfboard and paddle over to shore, or maybe we'll try shoring the boat. And it is a full keel. We'd have to do it with a slack or lowering tide, ebbing tide. And yeah, we'll do a little messing around, hey? You know, it would be nice.
I just don't know how to get you to the shore without getting you wet.
No, I can get wet.
You hear that, everyone? She said she can get wet, so I don't want to hear any complaining about being wet. Just getting into Henry Bay. We're going to head straight in until we're at a nice depth, and then we're going to turn, head to wind, and dump the anchor. See if we can anchor this baby with the sails instead of using Mona. How you doing, Boo? We made it. We sailed all the way here. We motored out of the harbor and sailed all the way here. We're back at Henry Bay. The sun is out. The fish, are they biting?
No.
Well, let's throw the crab trap down now too and see if we're biting. Jenna's gonna catch us a delicious salmon. Jenna's out on the front deck fishing. And about 2 years ago, we met a cat in the boatyard, and we thought we would buy some small cans of cat food to have in case the cat came to visit. Luckily, we kept a couple of them. Seafood and salmon feast. Since crabs are like cats, we've got 2 small cans of crab bait here. Luckily, they were only tucked away in this locker, and I only had to pull a couple things out. Just a couple things. Ugh, so much work for crab food. But we got it. My little fisher babe.
Yeah. I caught some rope.
Hey, hey! What kind of rope? Oh, you caught the road?
Yeah.
Hey, your boyfriend was wrong again. Surprise, surprise. Or what you'd call wrongo. It's not Temptations. It's Fancy Feast. But since there's always a chance they don't catch crabs, maybe we should keep them as emergency food for you and me. For our kitty. Okay, well, let's see if we can turn one of these into a dinner.
I want the green meanie.
The green meanie coming up. Here's the green meanie here. The green meanie. Started the engine for some dinner. We're gonna haul this crab trap up again and have a look. Going hungry tonight. Oh, she feels pretty heavy. After a long, hard day of fishing and crabbing with no success, it's important to eat a big meal. We worked hard today. We sailed, we fished, we crabbed.
We got sunburned, windburned, and now we get a relaxo with a little Malcolm in the middle. So we've got the tides turned and coming into a high tide, and I came out and I tried lowering the crab trap with some pulled pork as bait, and all of a sudden we were surrounded. I'm not really sure what they are, so we're gonna stick the GoPro down there and well, this is the first test of the GoPro after it just stopped recording after 4 seconds. GoPro got a little wet and is having a red light of death. It's being finicky, yeah. Come on, GoPro, pull through. We need you. You're our moneymaker. So the GoPro light won't turn off, which means it may be malfunctioning, and it just added a highlight to the start of our video. So it's kind of just doing what it wants to do. I put a separate card in so that we won't lose any of all of our high quality, well produced vlog footage that we've shot before the GoPro malfunctioned. Babe's making breakfast. She's got toast, cinnamon toast going for, oh, look at that, breakfast. So the engine's running, we got toast made, we got coffee coming, and we're making a plan. And a plan means we're trying to get over to shore today for some of the low tide action. 10:56 low tide. It's not super low like our low at 10:24 tonight, but a 9-foot low tide will still expose a lot of beach. And if there's a lot of beach exposed, then there may be a lot of dinners and lunches exposed. But we don't have a dinghy, so how are you gonna get to shore, they say? We've got two options. One is to intentionally beach the boat, which we're not quite comfortable with yet. The other option, which is somehow way more comfortable, is to build some sort of landing craft. So we've created Dinghy Mark 1. Excuse my artwork, but as you see, it's basically a surfboard with a pole across it and our fenders as outriggers to give us some dimensional stability. And then there'll be a tote for us to sit on and transport some equipment and dry clothes and snacks and water, and also to provide additional buoyancy. So the idea is surfboard with a tote and a pole with fenders, and then I'll sit on the front with my feet on the surfboard and paddle us over, and Babe can sit on the back with her feet on the surfboard and enjoy the ride, get the scenic views and document it. So wish us luck. It should be an interesting day. So I'm thinking we'll build this here on the cabin top. That gives us somewhere to work. We're gonna prototype here. Use the main halyard to lift the prototype, launch it in the water. We'll do a couple of circles of the boat, and when it's tested and true, we'll load up the Babe and head over to shore. Load it up with clams, scallops, mussels, oysters, whatever we can find, and we'll come back for lunch. This was a sign at a bar we used to work at for Cracked Canoe beer. So that's our paddle. Been carrying it around. Now it's time to shine.
First attempt to go to shore. Going over there.
contraption. This is what people do when you don't have a dinghy. Well, you definitely need a hat. How does it feel? Maybe a one-man craft. Yeah, I'm nervous watching you. Might not be going to shore after all. Looking good? Pretty good. Safe. Oh, don't fall. Okay. He's coming in, folks. Oh. Okay.
Well, stick to grabbing.
From the post.
Mark 1 was a success.
I tried to make a dinghy, our first landing craft, the outrigger surfboard canoe thing. Learned a lot of lessons. Mark II is obviously going to be a lot better.